Izuchukwu Oboko. Good morning, Izuchukwu. I apologize for that.
Good morning, sir. It's fine.
Sorry about the mixed up. All right, so
let's gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me first ask you, how is your area basically? Is it peaceful? Any sign of protest as at this moment?
For now, it's calm. We haven't heard anything except the footsteps of people going about their normal businesses.
Right.
So, what are your projections for today? What do you think might happen today? What are your projections? What are your views about everything that has happened? You know, the restriction of the protesters to 2 to 3 venues. Do you think that would suffice? Do you think that is fair, looking at it at this point?
Honestly, it's difficult to say what to expect at this point. The courts in Lagos and Abuja, as much as we know, have given orders restricting movement of protesters. A lot of people have kicked against the order, which was obtained ex parte. I'm not so sure if the protest holds, whether the protesters are going to allow themselves to be restricted. But the wise thing to have done is to obey court orders. Obey court orders. But we have seen in the past that protesters a lot of times, or a number of times, do not take cognizance of court orders. The protests will be led by the learned Silk Adegoruwa,
okay,
and also Femi Falana, I believe. And these are lawyers.
Okay.
Let us hope that the fact that they are being led by lawyers, very senior ones at that, that it will have some impact on it. And I also know that there were areas of disagreement between the Inspector General of Police and the meeting, and the learned Silk Adegoruwa SAN and Femi Falana SAN and other persons who joined the meeting. And it was along the same lines that protesters should be allowed to have peaceful procession. Meanwhile, the position of the IG, which is the position of the federal government, is that protesters should be restricted to a particular area. I think that, well, there is a court order already. As a lawyer, I will advise that the court order be complied with. It may not be pleasant, but there's an order already.
All right. Thank you very much. Just like you said, let's look further into this court order, this ex parte motion. It's amazing how they get these things, and how it's done in I wouldn't say haste. How it's done quickly, just to stop certain things. Do you see any abuse of court orders, or how can we in the future prevent this from happening so that it won't be used? It won't be taken advantage of, basically.
Yes, courts are become very weary of granting what we know as ex parte orders. Ex parte orders basically are orders that are obtained without the presence of the party against whom it is sought, right? I want to believe that, yes, it may be a ploy of the federal government, because that order was obtained, according to what is available in the news, was obtained on the, I think, 30th, on the 30th. And so there is little to no time to appeal that order, or to enter appearance to ask the court to set aside that order. So why did they not apply for that order 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, to allow the persons they have named as respondents and others that may be interested to join the suit to join and challenge the ex parte order, or apply to have the ex parte order either varied or set aside? So yes, I want to believe that it's a ploy of the federal government to frustrate the protest, and then also to, in their own words, ensure that anarchy does not happen. But we have had protests in the past, really. So yes, ex parte orders or obtaining others ex parte, that procedure has been abused over time, which makes it difficult for judges to grant these days. So what they do is they ask the party seeking an ex parte order to put the party or parties against whom it is sought on notice. On notice. In this case, this was not done. I do not think that the government should be scared of protests.
All right. Okay, yeah, I like that you say you do not think the government should be scared of protest. Let's switch gears a bit, let us not just make this a legal thing. Not too long ago, President of the Senate, I think that was some days ago, Godswill Akpabio had said that, quote, he was taking a jab at the protesters. He said, let us be there eating. He's talking about the lawmakers now, adding that they were not interested in a regime change. On the headlines of the papers today, one of the national dailies, it has been said that, let me just read it out, Akpabio under fire over expensive joke on hunger protest. Earlier on, you had said that senior advocates like Femi Falana and others are part of this whole thing. So what's your take on this, though, on how Godswill Akpabio is approaching this thing?
Well, Godswill Akpabio is part of government. Some comments that I have heard from Godswill Akpabio and others shows that they are not tolerant of protest, and this is a party whose leadership are known for sponsoring, taking part in protests. The truth of the matter is that it's not just the APC government. Governments in the past have always not paid attention when the people are speaking until there is now a protest. The people of Nigeria have been speaking every single day. They have been speaking every single day. So it's unfortunate that Godswill Akpabio will make such statement. But of course, what else could we have expected him to say except to rise in defense of the government? He is now on the other side, and the people are on this side. But most importantly, if people have protests happen even in our houses every day. Even right? As between two lovers, even as between a husband and a wife. The most important thing is that, okay, so there is protest. Why are you protesting? If they have decided they want to protest, allow them. That is their mode of expression. The most important thing to do is to ensure that to those who are not joining, they are not coerced or they are not harassed. Those who have decided to protest, ensure that they are protected, listen to them. If they have representative, nominate them. In the past, the one that everyone now seems to refer to, the NSAS protest. In my view, that protest was largely peaceful until some security agency decided to shoot down protesters. It was largely peaceful for days, and they organized themselves properly, right? So in my view, I don't think the government should be scared. And if they had channeled all of these efforts they are making to prevent the protests, speaking to interest groups, making them pull out, traditional rulers, area boys, how is it that government is making so much effort to prevent people who want to exercise their fundamental rights? Meanwhile, no arrests have been made to traditionalists who have been threatening protesters. No arrests have been made to area boys in Lagos who have been threatening protesters. Asari Dokubo is also issuing threats. No arrest has been made. Yeah. And the IG and other security agencies say they are looking for intelligence and say they want to protect protesters. None of them have issued any statement regarding what the area boys have done, regarding what Asari Dokubo has said, regarding what the traditionalists are doing. These are the kind of things that provoke protest. These are the kind of things that will make the protesters very strong in their resolve. These are some of the injustices that are going on in the country. These are some of the absurdities. When you have certain non-state actors taking positions on behalf of the government, and the government seems quiet. We saw that play out during the election. We saw that.
All right.
And I do not agree with Asari Dokubo
Okay.
that we should wait till 2027. No, everyone feels the impact. You don't want people to die before you start to adjust prices of goods and services or make policies that will ensure that people are able to afford the basic things. Even 70,000 naira minimum wage may not be enough.
Right.
Thank you for that. Before I move on to the next question, I know a lot of numerous viewers have been trying to call. Please, we apologize for the network failure, but please try and call us if you want to take part. 081 2182 0154. 081 2182 0154. Now, over to you, Izuchukwu. Now, because as a result of this protest, the federal government, the presidency, they've been doing a lot. They've been trying to, put so many things in place. It almost seems as if, wow, the government is actually listening. So my question is, do you think that after today or after the protest ends, do you feel, in your own opinion, that the government, both the presidency, the federal government, they are ready to listen to the people henceforth?
To be honest, I'm not so sure that the government will be ready to listen. And I'm not so sure as to why, right? There just always seems to be this arrogance from leadership when the people are complaining. They seem to politicize everything. It's unfortunate that Bayo Onanuga could release the kind of statement he released. I do not understand why a top government functionary like Bayo Onanuga in public, I say in public because if he could release that kind of statement in public, who knows how much goes on behind closed doors, the kind of conversations and discussions they have. Very unfortunate to link P2B without proof to the protest. When the people have been speaking, people are saying that the price of goods and commodities are expensive in the market. How did the government respond? They say give them time. And in giving them time, what have they done? At the point they tried to increase the levies that people pay in the form of, what do they call that thing again? Cyber security levy.
Cyber security.
And there was a massive outcry and they had to suspend it. Suspend, not cancel. So which means that it's still in operation and they are waiting for the appropriate time. At the time when people are saying that things are expensive, the president acquired...
Please, sorry, hold that thought.
Izuchukwu, please. At the time when people are complaining.
Can you hold your thought? We'll be right back. Let's pick this call.
We have Christopher. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead. Victor, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please go ahead. Keep it brief and short.
Yes, I was asking to know more light on the protest.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we are doing. That's what we are discussing. So just keep listening, right? We'll throw more light on the protest so you know what to do.
Thank you for calling, Victor. All right, over to you, Izuchukwu.
In fact, Izuchukwu was saying something very important about the acquiring. You said you were talking about the president acquiring something for billions of naira. Could you please continue with that thought?
Yes, he had acquired aircraft at a time when people are complaining, and then the federal government is telling labor and other stakeholders that they cannot pay the amount that labor is asking. That was the exact time that the president and his handlers decided to acquire new aircraft. Meanwhile, we have a president that used those set of aircrafts. So exactly what was wrong. Sometimes it's difficult to believe these people. To be honest, I say so respectfully. It's very difficult to believe anything they say. It's just unfortunate that we have gotten to a point where our government says things and then we are skeptical whether it is true or false. In saner climes, government facts and figure.
So sorry, Izuchukwu. We'll come back to you. Let me quickly take Daniel. Daniel, good morning. Where are you calling from and how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm Daniel, calling from Port Harcourt, River State.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay.
it is very important to state that our leaders don't care about us. Our leaders don't care about us, and it shows from their statements, the statements they make. You can't. How can the number 3 man in government, Akpabio, say they will be eating and will be protesting? Your guest is even just talking about the statement of Bayo Nonuga. When you look at their statements, in fact, the president to the ministers, to the SA, to senators, their food, their clothes, their rent, their fuel, their car and everything is provided for. And you are telling me to give you time. Stop providing for your food. Stop. If you want me to give you time, you too give Nigerians time by stop collecting those things. Show us by example. Show us that you understand that we are suffering. You are richer than us. Tinubu is a billionaire before he came to government. But his food is provided for. The vice president has a very good house, far better than over 100 and something million Nigerians, their houses. You should go and use his personal house in Lagos, in Kaduna, in anywhere he's from. You're building a house. You're providing clothes for him. You're providing even newspaper, buying newspaper for him. And you're telling him to calm down. I pay children's school fees.
All right, Daniel.
I provide electricity for myself. I do everything for myself. You're telling me to calm down. What is the example you're showing us as leaders? What is the example you're showing us as leaders? Please, let them show us leadership is by example. Then we'll take a cue from them and calm down. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a safe place to land. Daniel from Port Harcourt, that's Rivers State. And I'm glad we are having this conversation. Victor had called earlier on. Victor wanted to know what's going on. Victor, the protest is from various quarters. Stakeholders are calling for a peaceful protest. Let me read a number of riders for you so you know. Kano State government is inviting protesters to the government house, and they are warning against violence. Also, CSOs, civil society organizations, are setting up situation rooms. So you can call. You go online, you see these unveiled telephone lines, so you can call. Also, the police is saying be professional if you're going to be part of the protest. The IGP is also telling police officers to be civil. Now, Izuchukwu, I don't know if you can quickly react to our last caller, Daniel from Port Harcourt, and then wrap this up in just 2 minutes. That's how much time we have.
Well, really, if we give, and I say give in quotes, people job to do, we should give them everything that is required to function. The only problem is just the luxury, the attitude with which they go about this thing. There is a vice president that just left this Aguda house. Exactly. And you know, these houses are usually treated better than 7-star hotels anywhere in the world. I don't understand why a vice president just left that place. And we're talking about renovating a house that the vice president just left for billions of naira. For billions of naira, when we know that for all it is worth, he probably just took his personal belongings and left that place, a house that is well maintained. So what exactly are you renovating that needs to cost that much? I think that for security reasons and for ease, because sometimes they work late at night, hold meetings at ungodly hours, for the purposes of ease of governance, it's fine to have a state house, right? But when it's now becoming too much in terms of cost to the Nigerian people, that's a lot. Yes, I agree. You may not be suspending allowances or salaries or some other payment that the last caller just mentioned. I believe that the law should be able to evolve to mete out some form of punishment to non-performing officers of government, whether they are president or vice president.
All right, thank you very much, Izuchukwu Oboko. We do hope that in your area there's peaceful procession and you just stay safe all in all. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I pray the same for you.
Thank
all
you.
the best.
Amen.
Yes.